we're now living in a society that's effectively very dopamine driven. People are very in the pursuit of success, money, pleasure, drugs, partying, alcohol, social media. There's a lot of pursuit of like, how can I make my brain feel as pleasured as possible? And once upon a time, oxytocin being the chemical that's all about connection and is my group okay? And are my group surviving? And how am I contributing to my close knit group around me? That chemical has gone on the downfall effectively as a result of us being more in the slightly, and not in a judgmental way, but selfish pursuit of how do I make myself feel really good with dopamine. Oxytocin, as you rightly shared, is this chemical that initially really surges through a mum and a baby as they're born. So the baby gets this big surge of oxytocin, which creates an instinctive desire to seek for love from that mum and the dad or the siblings that are around them. Breastfeeding and all the physical touch right at the beginning is very important there. And with oxytocin, it's very important that we have very close knit, connected relationships. And whilst it seems amazing that we've got phones that can like call one another and we can see lots of humans on all our phones and stuff, we're actually more lonely and isolated than ever before, really, as a species now. And as a result, these oxytocin levels are low. And for a young baby, if a young baby was lying in a cot and they couldn't hear their parents' voice for a number of hours and they didn't like have their parents come over to them and hug them or cuddle them for a number of hours, very rapidly that baby would get into a deep state of fear because it can't protect itself, and oxytocin levels would be dropping rapidly, and therefore it would experience anxiety as a young little baby, thinking, where the hell is that love that I need to keep me safe? And as a result, when our oxytocin levels drop as people, if we're lonely, which is very common, or if our relationships aren't strong, and if we're not having moments of physical touch, that can be in a romantic way, but also just physical touch with a pet or a human or a grandkid, whoever it might be. If we're not having deep moments of connection, oxytocin levels fall. And as a result, our brain and body feels very fearful, wondering where that next level of connection is coming from.